all lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way know why they take it the wrong way. The truth is the light.
I need to have another one of these.
Amen, amen.
Gee.
This is way over the edge. Like we it's not even over the edge. We died already.
This is beyond the event horizon. Like we about to hit the vortex.
Yeah, we about to hit the vortex.
Yeah.
Boy, you looking like a milk dud. Nigga thought he was Michael Jordan. Boy, you looking like Blank Man. Boy, you looking like Lil Bill.
How you die does not redeem how you lived. You do not become a hero in your death when you are a weapon of the enemy in your life.
Well, negotiations, right? Politics.
And we're out of time. So you.
Where they are in full praise of the court and very happy about what it's done. There's also the political impact on the GOP side. This has been mentioned a little bit. That we all know members that we've talked to on the GOP side of the aisle who are silently, quietly breathing a sigh of relief. There have been Republicans on Capitol Hill who have voted against some of the president's tariffs. They think it's actually hurt the economy and hurts their ability to go out and make the argument that this president is working to make things more affordable. So some of them quietly happy that this will maybe reset the markets and some of what we're seeing in our economic data. And listen, the president can now say, you know, it's the Supreme Court's fault. I tried, these tariffs were working. It's about the justices, and then pivot to these other options we know he has for other tariffs.
Yes, Shannon, I was just going to say that to me, I feel like, you know, I remember at the White House and when the Hamdan decision came out, right? And that was a big loss about the fight against terrorism. But it was like, that was the loss and that was the decision. It was like, well, we could say we're disappointed with it, we disagree with it, but we're moving on and this is how we're going to do that. And to me, this could be a very clarifying moment to be able to say, okay, well, that didn't work. But one of the things on the politics that you talk about is that we're in the middle of a lot of big, messy primaries on the Republican side in some places.
Is she stupid or is she dumb? Because I think she might be both.
Hey, y'all, gravity. Any day above ground, live it. I hope you're having a fantastic start to your Friday and your weekend. I know I ain't supposed to be streaming on no Friday, but we got to talk about this. MAGA, come on in. I want to talk to y'all this morning because I was told once again, and we were all here when y'all said it. He gonna fix the economy. Drill, baby, drill. He gonna sign that law that's gonna give us no tax on tips, overtime, and Social Security. Toss, what I call it. Trump is the best person for the job. All these countries are going to bow to us. Yeah. They're bowing, all right. They're bowing out of the Western system. They're relying on each other. They're doing deals with each other. They're not even using the dollar. It's gotten so bad that they're putting out fake reports that Russia is going to give us trillions of dollars to fight sanctions, and China is going to work and give us $16 trillion, and they're going to print $16 trillion into the economy. If the economy is doing so great, why are you printing money? MAGA, who left economics classes to go give head in the stairwells of their high schools to their teachers. And I don't care if you're a male or a female, because we know some of you males did that because you knew you weren't going to graduate, so you had to give head to your teachers. And when we talk about some head, we talking about with the male teachers. Where is this energy? Japan is going to invest in this country, and it's going to be great. You mean the same Japan, shout out to Japan, but the same Japan who never finishes deals like Saudi Arabia? Them? Oh, yeah. They're going to invest billions into our energy sector. The same energy sector that you sold out to the Saudis already, that one? Oh, United States of Asia, I get it. I get it because it's next to the Caucasus Mountains. I get it. You want to be closer to your ancestors. I get it. Oh, prices of eggs have gone down. Wonderful. Tell them the truth why it did. He imported it. But you didn't want to talk about that. No domestic production because him and Biden were sitting there destroying birds. But y'all didn't want. Y'all just want to leave it at the feet of Biden. That's fine. That's fine. Alcohol sales have been going down the last year, and alcohol is a big revenue driver for this country. But y'all said, "Oh, millennials and the Gen Z, they're waking up. They don't want to do that." Well, that hurts Anheuser-Busch now, doesn't it? Even though they made profit. Yeah. Now you're understanding how corporations work, right? Corporations are bigger than the government. Oh, Ford is going to lead the whole world in car sales. American innovation is back. And then last week, we get a report saying that a Chinese company called BYD, which we have spotlighted on this channel way back last year, is whooping their ass. And this was months after y'all ran outside and said that these tariffs were going to help Ford. And then even the Ford CEO had to come outside and say that the tariffs were hurting them. They just had a $2 billion loss. So how the hell do you quantify both? I need y'all to come in here and explain this to me. You math whizzes. The same math whizzes who didn't understand that 0 through 9 came from Arabic numbers. I need this explained to me. Y'all see it? He over here blaming the Democrats for the GDP because the Democrats are in charge of the economy. All of a sudden, even though he runs the executive, the Republicans run the legislative, SCOTUS is conservative, but all of a sudden, Democrats had enough power with the economy. Even though you just heard, and I purposely played that Fox News clip where they said Republicans, some of them were happy that this happened. Even though you have articles upon articles upon articles for a year and a half showing that Republicans, the day he came outside and said that he was dropping these tariffs, they were pissed off at him. But let's blame the Democrats. Your man does not know how to navigate this post-pandemic world. I hope you're starting to realize this. He is going to fuck us. Y'all see the World Cup tickets are down. Do you know how much money that was supposed to generate? That was supposed to generate almost $100 billion. Motherfuckers don't even want to come here. They're right now trying to negotiate tickets to Mexico and Canada to go see these games. They don't even want to fuck around in New York. They don't want to fuck around in Atlanta. They don't want to go to LA. They don't want to go to Frisco because they're afraid that this idiot is going to go have goddamn ICE waiting for them. Doesn't matter what part of immigrant you from. So you'd rather hurt your American cities just to piss off some immigrants. I mean, if you want to do that, that's fine. But I guess y'all forgot that America's other big driver of quote unquote the economy is tourism, especially summer tourism, where Black Americans can go showcase the country they fucking built. They can go showcase what makes this country great. Y'all letting a white man destroy this country and y'all cool with that. Say less. Well, we're going to go over all that. We're going to go over them GDP numbers. Oh, they dropped. And what did I tell y'all? If them GDP numbers look bad, guess what's going to happen? Well, they came out and they bad. Producer Consumer Index, what we pay for stuff on the daily, that number came out. Oh, it's bad. Yeah. Uh-huh. But y'all still going to tell us that it's everything. We still good, right? We good. Okay. The spring will show everything. But anyway, before we get into all that, let's see who's in the building. SD Johnson, hello. Miss Nisi, hello. Wallow J, hello. Gamers Den, hello. Don P, hello. And yes, I'm wearing sunglasses for those who don't see it. I'm wearing sunglasses today because it's sunny outside, because the Most High is shining down on me. I think I'm like 90% recovered from last week. We good. We're going to have fun this morning. I might even stay on camera. I ain't sure yet. But let's see. GDS, hello. Cosima, hello. Zavon, hello. Lehman Lucas, hello. Boilermaker, hello. BB, hello. Who else? Sybil, hello. DSA, hello. Deborah, hello. Dexter, hello. Dream Elements, you bastard, hello. Eric M, hello. Brother Torian, hello. Excellent video you did this morning. Luis, hello. For those, name me one thing any black has ever built. You see this infrastructure called the internet? Yeah. I know you're on your phone because it tells me so. The reason why you can watch this is because a black woman helped revolutionize Qualcomm. So yes, there you go. Black invention, black innovation. That ironing board, even though I know you don't use it, only when you go out, and that's very rarely in the year, black man. You want to keep going? Black man helped modernize the car engine. You want to keep going? Thank you. Air conditioning. You want to keep going? The traffic light, even though you run traffic lights all day because you're always late to work because you want to be black. Black man. Oh, I'll give you one since this is this channel. Modern day politics, black people. Everybody wants to be transactional now. Where'd they get that from? Black people. Super Soaker, yes. Your kids, if you got any, they sitting down playing PS5 and Xbox and Nintendo Switch. You better thank Jerry Lawson, the godfather of the home console. Yes, black people, black Americans and melanated immigrants on coal. Put everything in there that black people did. And she's so dumb, the phone she holding can go on Google and put up a whole list of black inventions. But yeah. And for those who haven't said anything, oh, we got more people. Pierce Ward, hello. You seem new, but welcome. If you're not new, welcome back. And for those who haven't said anything in the live chat or the comments, hello. And as y'all do that, we got to do the customary house cleaning so we can get into the discussion and the learning.
Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Now go.
Let me go here. There's a growing concern.
All right. As I alluded to before we did the introductions, we have fresh economic data that came out yesterday. It was held because of the recent mini government shutdown. So via Yahoo Finance, stock market today, Dow, S&P 500, NASDAQ rise after Supreme Court strikes down Trump tariffs. They wanted this. So let's see what these two women are talking about.
Get to work!
Services has been coming down. So that was sort of helping the CPI number. We don't have that as much in this PCE number. But bottom line, inflation's still looking a bit sticky, and I think this keeps the Fed on hold at this point.
Talk!
That seems to be the view out there. Jennifer, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Let's stick with the economy and what all this means for markets. Joining us now, Michelle Schneider, MarketGauge.com chief strategist. Mish, it's great to see you. I am curious.
That is Jigsaw, goddammit. That is Jigsaw without the Dreamcast logos on each side. Get some.
Because I know you are a chart watcher. So you have to sort of layer on this economic data on top of the backdrop that we've been seeing for stocks. So I'm curious how you're reading the numbers this morning, and we're already seeing some.
You forgot to
pressure
ask
on
if she wants to
stocks
play a
that's
game.
happening even before these numbers.
Well, good morning, Julie. Yeah, what we were already seeing in the indices, particularly the SPY and the NASDAQ, was not only downward pressure as they failed the 50-day moving average, but also a real sharp divergence in momentum. So that the momentum was starting to get bearish even before the price. Now, generally why that's important is in a little bit of history, it goes back to the days of trading on the commodities exchange where you could see and feel and hear momentum. This is gauging it through moving averages. And when momentum starts to pick up in divergence to price, you need the price confirmation. But essentially what we're seeing was before these numbers that the pressure was starting to come in. So that's what we're looking for right now, is whether or not this divergence continues to put pressure on the price, or whether we can actually recapture. And what would make it recapture, of course, would be some optimism, I think, on the interest rates.
Do you think that's forthcoming? It doesn't feel like it is imminent, certainly. When you say optimism, you mean optimism that cutting is coming.
Exactly. Right. I know that if you're looking at the pure details of today and the PCE being the preferred inflation rate, as we just heard, something that would be concerning to the Fed, of course, the growth slowing down, also concerning to the Fed. It just keeps them in the same sort of dichotomy, pickle, if you will, that they've been in for the last couple of years. And so the real question is going to be, what sort of path do they decide to take, because they want to continue to see borrowing costs get lower, which of course will help the economy, and whether or not they're really concerned that this little boosted inflation is more temporary, or whether they think it's more or transitory, to use their word, or whether they think that this is a real path. That's why we're seeing dissension. But right now, again, Julie, let's look at the chart. If you look at TLT, which is what I love to look at, it just hit 90 the other day, which is exactly where a very strong 2-year business cycle moving average sits, which means we've been in contraction or yields have been higher. If it breaks over 90, I think no matter what you're hearing, it means that yields will probably at some point head south.
Interesting. Okay, so we'll be continuing to watch that one. Of course, feeding into...
And the yields she's talking about are the interest rates, the bonds, the treasury notes, that stuff. But see, your man over there that y'all put in 1,600 won't say that. He gonna just blame Democrats. Okay.
This inflation story is what's going on in the commodity markets, Mish, and I want to get to that too because I know you've been watching it.
Keep going.
Piled into all of the other stuff affecting inflation, we now have a potential conflict with Iran to contend with, and the effect that that could have on oil prices. So we've got oil prices that have now climbed over the past few sessions on concerns around that. What levels are you watching there, or what are you watching to tell us what could be happening?
Well, we have skin in oil because it was actually starting to show firmness even before the most recent headlines about Iran. So right now, I think $66 is a good pivotal area if you're looking at WTI oil. 61 is the ultimate support, and that's where we started to buy. If it can hold on to 66, regardless of what happens in Iran, there's other issues too. The actual inventories fell as opposed to gain. When people are talking surplus, we're not really seeing it. So if we get through 66, 68, to 69 was actually our June 2025 high. We get through there. People are calling for 75, 76. I think that's a fair target.
And I also want to ask you, while we're talking commodities, about gold and silver. Because
what did I tell y'all last year? What's the quickest way to get an economy moving? You go to war. Now he want to pop off on Iran. What else did I tell you? That man is the only president in the last 40 years that didn't have a war on his legend. Now all of a sudden, now we going to Iran. And I love how MAGA not saying, well, he say he don't want no wars, but y'all are deadly silent on the fact that he's about to, in the next 9 days, bomb Iran so he can rise up the crude oil price. Oh, you don't believe me. I figured you didn't. We know, MAGA, you're dumb. We know this, but us here, you know, black people, we invented compassion. we're going to be compassionate and show you what your man's plan is.
You know, let me go here. There's a growing concern in.
Now, that WTI she was talking about is the crude oil price. It's basically the world price, but the average is what they want per barrel. So it says it surged to $66 as Iran tensions revive geopolitical premium. WTI rises 1.74% to $66.06 after a 4% surge in the previous session. Price breaks above key moving averages, signaling bullish momentum. U.S.-Iran tensions escalate, reviving fears of Strait of Hormuz disruption. And for those who don't know what that is, we went over that last year as well. If the Strait of Hormuz gets, in a word, inundated with this war, since it's near Iran, that's going to cut off global oil production and transport. It's going to affect Africa. It's going to affect the Middle East. It's going to affect Asia. It will affect us because we basically have to use the Hormuz Strait to get around from the Middle East and the Mediterranean over to our side. So we could have a recap of Bush's second term this summer. We could. Just so he wants to launch off some missiles at Iran because he thinks it's going to piss BRICS off. And BRICS already told him, you try this, you're going to get some consequences. But all right. All right. See, there you go. There you go, MAGA. Here, we know y'all like pictures. I know there's a lot of colors. I get a little happy. But there you go. You can look at it. You can screenshot it and zoom in later and look at it. But we're going to continue. We're going to go back to that video we were just watching. If I could find it. Here it goes.
50 would be probably, or 2,500 would be the ultimate support that we don't want to see break.
Mish, I find it so interesting that you talk about the Russell as a signal for U.S. stocks more broadly. I think that's really interesting because we've been having discussions so much about international stocks, right? And just this morning, Michael Hartnett over at Bank of America says if you look at relative flows of U.S. versus international, that it's been more than 5 years since international was attracting this much flows relative to U.S. Do you think that that is not sustainable and we're going to see sort of a mean reversion in those flows?
Well, right now it's hard to make that case with everything that came out this week. However, first of all, there's going to be a ruling on tariffs. I think that might be an impact. But essentially, if we're looking at this as a longer-term game plan, onshoring the tariffs, bringing business back into the U.S., whether it's the AI data centers or any type of manufacturing, if the costs of the goods do not really go crazy, and number one, and number two is that the cost of borrowing, that's what's so key about the interest rates and the Russells, they are symbiotic. If all of that happens, yeah, I think that could actually bring us back to more of the exceptionalism in America we've been hearing. But if it doesn't, that's why a lot of money is going towards the European countries because they've been so undervalued, and they had some good stats that came out today as opposed to us that had
that chart and that stock that you like?
Well, it's in a bullish trend. It's held up very well. It isn't at the highs, but obviously, I always like to preface things by saying if we have a major sell-off, everything's going to sell off.
Right.
But if things stay relatively calm or the sell-off is more controlled and the Iranian situation goes away, which is also putting pressure, we like Victoria's Secret. The support right now, I would say, is at about 55 to 58. If we can get through most recent highs, 62, 63, there's no reason why that can't go to new all-time highs. I think that Victoria's Secret is benefiting from the diet drugs and people now feeling better about themselves. So that's a happy news. And that's why we're long this particular stock. If you look at that chart right now, you can see how it could be setting up.
Feminism wins again. Feminism has won again. Thong panties will save the American economy.
What the hell?
We know this. The Chinese know that we know. But we make believe that we don't know, and the Chinese make believe that they believe that we don't know, but know that we know. Everybody knows.
Oh, man. You know what, ladies, I apologize in advance, but I got to do this for the fellas. Fellas, we got to show them what's going to save the economy. We've got to do it for them. I'm sorry.
You know, let me go here. There's a growing concern in.
Fam, this is what's going to save the economy. That's what she said. This is what she said. This is going to save the economy. All this right here. From the thin chick to the chick with a lot of meat on her. This is what's going to save the economy. What they wearing. Yes, sir. This right here, F eggs. The lacy bra and panty set is going to save the economy.
You want some more?
We might have more. This right here, this $12.50 exploded logo cotton 90s brief panty. Listen, I know y'all love y'all's avocados, but that right there will save the country.
You want some more?
We might have more. This right here, this beautiful dark-skinned black woman right here. Wait, we're going to back up a little bit. Black History Month. She might be African, but we don't care. Lord, and she thick too. Let's get it. She might be one of the Dora Milaje, but that's okay. They're infiltrating. But this right here, this white set right here, that is going to save the country.
You want some more?
We might have more. Look, all this cake, even though these two white girls really don't have cake, this one has a little, that's a bun cake right there. That is going to save the country.
You want some more?
We might have more. For those in the crowd that like white women with small titties, this Tropic of Sea, Confident by Nature, this is going to save the country because we have to include them in there, even though we don't want to. But, you know, they get upset.
You want some more?
We might have more. And this is just the homepage, by the way. Even the robes for $70, that is going to save the country.
You want some more?
We might have more. We have the South Asians. You know they like their South Asians. Their second, what they call her? The second lady. She's South Asian. So apparently they're gonna save the country because MAGA keep flip-flopping between illegal immigrants and immigrants.
You want some more?
We might have more. Let's go. Let's see what kind of bras they got. They got J cups. J cups. Well, look, they even got the strapless ones. The strapless ones will save the country.
You want some more?
We might have more. By the way, MAGA, you see all this DEI on the page? All this DEI? DEI gonna save the country. You heard what I'm talking about.
You want some more?
We might have more. Look, even the one, where is she? I just saw her. Even the one with a sassy attitude in this what they call it? Skin tone. The skin tone bras will save the country.
You want some more?
We might have more. And no, I'm not gooning. Look, the seafoam green, they will save the country.
You want some more?
We might have more. Oh Lord, this one right here, though, boy. Now she might be mixed, but that's okay. This right here, though. She's gonna save the country.
You want some more?
We might have more. They give her another one because she's so. This right here, this sports bra looking one, that's gonna save the country.
You want some more?
We might have more. The ones with the rod in it, that's gonna save the country. And y'all ladies know what I'm talking about.
You want some more?
We might have more. This even dark skinned one right here. She gonna save the country.
You want some more?
Wait, Reparations Nation said, when did Vicky start selling 46H? I don't know. Well, we finna look. I saw J's. I want to see what them J's look like. Wait a minute. Where is it? I need them J cups. Wait, I want to see what them J cups look like. Size. Here we go. I want to see what them J's look like. Where is it? Yes, sir. We're gonna help the fellas out. We want to see what them J's look like. Oh, y'all are assholes. Y'all ain't showing no J's. All right. But see all this diversity, MAGA? See us black people? We can have all this diversity and nobody get mad. Lord have mercy. Yes, ma'am. This right here, this, what do they call it? VSX knockout front close sports bra, 45.46. I think they just changed it today because the tires dropped, but that's going to save the country.
You want some more?
We might have more. Let's see. She has one arm. She finna save the country. Because MAGA say they all about diversity. She's gonna save the country. And it's a beautiful thing. Shout out to her.
You want some more?
We might have more. The cheetah print is coming back in style. That's gonna save the country.
You want some more?
We might have more. Lord. There you go. There you go. Right here. That's for you fellas. I know she looked like Tyler and Tyler anti-black, but you know. See, low stock. See, people got money. Low stock. $79. That's gonna save the country.
You want some more?
We might have more. We even got hurry up and buy. Hurry up and buy with the J cups. She finna save the country. And you know how MAGA loves them goddamn Asians.
You want some more?
You might have more. Look, even the thick girls gonna save the country. We're not gonna say anymore. But yeah, see, this is what's going to save the country. There you go. That's going to save the country. There you go. Right there. All this. Now, I know in this day and age, y'all might say she might be a man, but, you know, I think that's a woman. I think they tell us. Lord have mercy. Woo! Okay, I think we're done.
You want some more? Do you? All right, bim, bam, boom. Somebody get this nigga out of my way.
Now, let's get back to this.
Saving the world from dry eyes.
Okay, I don't care. All right. So there's that. So let's go take a look at the PCE numbers. Lord have mercy. So GDP PCE numbers came out. US December PCE inflation 2.9 versus 2.8 expected. Hey. US PCE inflation heats up in December. What we buy on the daily, it went up. Remember they ran outside talking about record spending? Yeah, because everything went up. We had to spend more to get the same things from a year ago. Yes. Since y'all don't want to tell your idiot base what that really means. Underlining U.S. inflation increased more than expected in December, and signs are pointing to a further acceleration in January, which would strengthen expectations that the Fed Reserve would not cut interest rates before June. The Personal Consumption Expenditures Price Index, excluding the volatile food and energy components, rose 0.4 after an unrevised 0.2% gain in November, the Commerce Department's Bureau of Economic Analysis said on Friday. Economists polled by Reuters had forecast the so-called core PCE price index climbing 0.3%. In the 12 months through December, core PCE inflation advanced 3% after increasing 2.8% in November. But I was told everything's starting to drop. They were running around talking about that gas. All right, motherfucker. All right. By the way, gas went back up, but you know, they ain't gonna tell you that. It's one of the measures tracked by the U.S. Central Bank for its 2% inflation target. The data was included in the Advanced Gross Domestic Product report for the fourth quarter published on Friday. Though the Bureau of Labor Statistics Consumer Price Index report published last week showed a moderate increase in January, there was some stickiness in services inflation. Economists also noted a surge in legal services in January. Oh, legal services. This category, which the BLS does not publish but can be backed out, registered a 12% month-on-month increase in January. 12%, which alone is worth about 10 basis points on core PCE inflation, said Pooja Sriram, an economist at Barclays. That said, this tends to be a very volatile category with very little forward-looking inference. Economists estimated core PCE inflation could increase by as much as 0.4% on a monthly basis in January, which would translate to a year-on-year average of 3.1%. Those forecasts could change after January's producer price index report next Friday, and we will be here to show that. January's PCE inflation data will be released on March 13th. The reports have been delayed by last year's shutdown of the government. PCE price index increased 0.4% in December after rising 0.2% in November. PCE inflation increased 2.9% year on year after gaining 2.8% in November. The government also reported that consumer spending, which accounts for more than 2/3 of economic activity, rose 0.4% in December after increasing by the same margin in November. When adjusted for inflation, consumer spending gained 0.1%, setting in on a slow growth trajectory heading into the first quarter. But I was told everything's starting to drop. God bless President Trump. That's what I was told. Of course he did. That's what I was told. Remember, we were told this, right? I wouldn't lie to y'all. We all heard it. Now y'all see why I kept playing all those rallies and all those speeches. I want y'all to drum it in your mind that they're going to tell you anything to get you to support them and then screw you later. And then they're going to have plausible deniability. Speaking of which, do y'all know what Trump did also yesterday? Oh boy. Y'all got to see this. Now, this is old, but we have to bring this back up again. And I think you guys are going to like this.
You know, let me go here. There's a growing concern.
Remember when Trump said this? Oh, yes. Remember he said everybody was going to get a $2,000 tariff refund check? MAGA ran outside and said this is the greatest president ever. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Well, now he acting like he never said it. Uh-huh. When did I do that? What are you, Urkel now? Donald Urkel. Okay, say less. Let's get to the show. Trump and that GDP thumbnail I put in for this show. Donald Trump has had the lowest GDP growth of any president in the last 80 years. I was told by people that allegedly look at the economy, tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. And I find it conspicuous that now these numbers come out every time and they look bad. Those little BAs, because my daughter's in the room, I can't say it. They don't do videos trying to explain why that is. Hell, if he had a positive one, I would explain it. Interesting. All y'all want to sit up here and cap when that man does something right. But when he does something wrong, you won't explain it to your people. You don't believe me? There's the chart. How you let Herbert Walker Bush beat you? How you let W beat you? I'm just asking. Remember, Herbert Walker lost his presidential bid for a second term because he said he wasn't going to raise taxes and then say he had to do it. He was dealing with Desert Storm. That's when prices really in the 90s started to rise up. He couldn't survive that. How you let W, who had gas damn near $4 in New York, how you letting him outpace you on GDP? He had to deal with that. He had to deal with Katrina. But okay. All right. Trump leaked GDP 40 minutes before data release. This is the thumbnail we put in. Look at Travis. Now, this was a week before. Year one of Trump has been incredible. Consider 4.4 GDP at the end of the year. Oh. 4.4 at the end of the year, right? What happened? The end of the year does not happen until May. See, they won't tell you that part. That was just quarter three. There's 4 quarters in a whole. See, this is why they know their crowd is dumb and they're going to listen to them. Yes, Travis, if you didn't know that, I'll explain it again. We don't follow what the government does. Yes, our end-to-end year is January to December. For governments, it's usually May to April. That's why it says here, quarter 4. February, March, April. That's why I keep saying the spring will show us everything. Just like I said it last year. When it came to July, after his first 6 months, I said July is going to show us everything. You're crying about 3 quarters. You're happy as hell. So based on those numbers, you're telling me here, right? You had a little modest growth between December and January. When they finally figured out all them numbers from the holidays, they figured out, yes, January is a slow month. People they spend all their money for the holidays, but they still should have something, especially if they have jobs. What happened in January? You had a whole bunch of layoffs. People could not spend money. You also had people getting kicked off SNAP that needed it. That means they weren't spending. January is also a hotbed of returns. People usually slow their spending down in January, yes, but not to this level. You lost 3 percentage points. 3 between late January and today. 3. Do you know how much money you do not have to spend to drop GDP down 3%? But you over here pom-pomming and twerking over quarter 3. I tell you they dumb. Record high stock market. That is propped up by tech stocks. And now all the tech stocks now are talking about they're pulling out of AI. So that's going to crash the market very soon. But okay, record high stock market. How'd that help for Dave Portnoy? I don't know how many millions he's still owed, but last time we checked in on him, he's still owed by 11 million. But all right. Lowest murder rate since 1900. You do know that started when Biden was still in office, right? But okay. We'll let y'all take credit for that. But blacks are still violent. That's what they say. Blacks are still violent. We still out here killing them. Okay. The most secure border in history. Okay. And 10% decline in government employees. And how's that working? Services are a lot slower. How's that working? Okay. Sure. We just learned GDP growth was a pathetic annualized 1.4% in quarter 4 2025. This is a disaster. Remember that Trump, Besson, and the others who's of clowns have been saying 5, 6, and even 8% GDP growth is coming. Remember, they said 5. Remember, they predicted 5.4%, and we said there's no way. Oh, y'all remember that? I know you do. They were all running around saying 5.4%, 5.4%. I'm sitting there arguing with folk on Twitter. I'm like, how the hell are we going to get to 5.4%? Do you know what you have to do? People were not spending money in December like that. But okay. Look, here he is. He gonna lie. I think this was from his thing yesterday. Oh no, this was last week. Okay, let's see what he said. Oh my God. Who? Because the stock market's over 50,000, that means the economy is hot? Are you insane? Okay. Okay. He said we got the hottest economy, right? It's so hot. Auto Week. Let's go to Auto Week. They're an authority on car sales and the trends. No surprise. Fourth quarter auto sales fell. EV sales fell further. And this was the season where people buy cars for their significant others and their children. Auto sales fell. And they were all running specials. I was looking at cars yesterday. They got Toyota Camrys for $23,000. I'm sorry, a Corolla, not a Camry. The Camry was about 27. How is a Corolla and a Camry damn near the same price? Camry is supposed to be the next level up from a Corolla. Explain that to me. Car sales. Okay. Yeah, y'all don't want to go car sales. Okay. And we're going to stay away from food and energy, right? Let's look up apparel sales. You know, clothes. Y'all still want to tell us this economy is hot? Honda's in the toilet. We'll look up Honda in a minute, but there you go. Disappointing holiday season. December retail sales were flat, falling well short of estimate. Let me look. This is a video. Maybe we'll watch this. There better not be no ad. Of course, they're going to give me an ad. Wait, this thing ain't got no sound? Hold on. I don't hear no sound on my side, so let's see. Maybe.
Rick Santelli is standing by at the CME in Chicago. Rick, the numbers, please.
Yes, let's start out with the employment cost index. We're expecting a fourth quarter number to end up around up 0.8%. Comes in 1/10 light, up
1/10 light,
0.7%. How does that rate? Actually, that would be the smallest quarterly price movement since going all the way back to the second quarter of 21.
Okay, and this cocksucker that's you're seeing on the screen, this month was twerking for Trump a month ago when them jobs numbers came out. Now you're seeing it. Now you're seeing the impact. Oh, he got all these jobs. And then they revised it down. Now you look dumb. Now you're complaining in newscaster voice. You're complaining now that the employment index went down. I wonder why.
Second quarter of 21, where it equals 0.7. You have to go back to the third quarter of 20 to find a smaller number, up 0.5%. So that
6 years
indeed
ago.
Good news. Retail sales, these are December numbers. Headline, expected up 0.4, comes in light. Only zero, goose egg, unchanged. That
unchanged. They were looking for almost 0.5%. Unchanged. What that mean, MAGA? That means people were not buying. You raising prices, people just paying more. They didn't do extravagant spending that you would expect during the holidays. And that also helps to show what I said earlier in the year. People ain't traveling. Again, I want y'all to be here. Y'all heard me say this 6 months. Well, now it's almost 8 months ago. Remember in July when I sat in my car and I said that people are not traveling like they used to in the summer? Especially during July 4th, they tried to lie and tell you, oh, well, Memorial Day, that's going to be a hotbed. Everybody going to travel. Did you see any reports of numbers from AAA saying how many people traveled during Memorial Day? Did you see it for July 4th? No, you didn't. You didn't see it for Labor Day. They tried to lie and say Thanksgiving, and then they had that problem with the flights. Christmas, did you see a whole bunch of people flying? Not up any kind of record. Now they want to put out numbers talking about, oh, Trump's numbers for airline prices is up. Not in a negative way, but you know, it's not as expensive because people ain't going. We showed that day, San Francisco, Fort Lauderdale, $100. Where we do that at? And that was during Christmas season, $100. They're begging people to get on them airplanes. You want a sign of the economy not doing well? Go drive by your airport and see how long it's going to take you to get to the terminal. From the entrance, from the off ramp to the terminal. Tell me how long it takes. If it don't take you more than 10 minutes, the economy not doing well. I can compare it. 4 years ago, going to get my wife from the airport, the North Terminal at Hartsfield Jackson took me 10 minutes. From when they started there to get to the terminals, 10 minutes to just get in. Now I can ride up there easily. I'm in there in like 3 minutes. But y'all want to sit up here and tell me that this economy doing great. Cruise ships offering free, they're putting your kids on for free. Where they do that at? But, you know, economy doing well. Okay.
Would equal where we were. Well, actually, to find a lower number, you're going all the way back to May of last year when it was down 0.8. That's the last negative number we had. So that's unchanged. If you strip out autos, it remains unchanged. And if you strip out autos and gas, it also remains unchanged. The control group or the core retail sales comes in at down 0.1%.
So the areas that were down that we were told couldn't help the numbers. The numbers remained unchanged. Well, shit.
Down 0.1% would be the weakest since September of last year when it was down 0.2%. So not good news on retail sales. And if you look at the rear view mirror, X autos downgraded from 0.5% to 0.4. X autos and gas.
Do you see that May number? Do you see that May number? Huh. Huh. May.
Gas last look from 0.4 to 0.3, and the core number, the control number, our last look was up 0.4. It gets shaved in half to up 0.2. Now let's look at import prices. Month over month, up 0.1 for December. Strip out petroleum, it's up 0.4. 4/10 would be the warmest going back to April of 24. So April of 24, that's something to pay attention to. Those are month over month. Let's look at import prices year over year. We are expecting a number on the year over year to be roughly up 1/10. It comes in unchanged. Month over month export prices up 3/10. That's triple the up 1/10 we're looking for. That would be the warmest going back to June of last year. And finally, on a year over year perspective, Becky, for
Well, import prices on auto sale. Huh. It went up. So what does that mean? It means we were all paying more for that same car that we had last year or in 23. Huh. But I was told them tariffs were going to drop shit. This is just cars. So last year you paid more for the same car that you could have paid for 3 years ago.
export prices up 3.1%, 1/10 hotter than we were expecting, but a little cooler than the 3.3 in the rearview mirror. And how does that relate? 3.1 would be the smallest going back to July of last year when it was 2.4. So a real mixed bag. The market did a nice job of divining all the information, but we see yields moving a bit lower. 416, it's about where they were, but that's minus 3 basis points on the session for 10s. And if we look at the 2-year, 345, it was at 346. 345 is down 4 basis points. We have auctions this week. Today, tomorrow, the next day, and that's 3s, 10s, and 30s respectively. Today's 58 billion 3-year notes to be auctioned at 1 Eastern. Becky, back to you.
Hey, Black Spider said cruise kids get on free. They're really struggling to offer that.
You know, let me go here. There's a growing concern in.
This is called Family Vacationists. Look, Royal Caribbean kids sail free promotions. Norwegian Cruise Line free at sea deals. MSC Cruises kids cruise free and all-in-one pricing. All-in-one. That's for everybody. Holland American Line kids cruise free on select voyages. Costa Cruises. That's Europe. We don't care. Let me go look. Let's go look on Royal Caribbean. Let's see. We'll go from. We'll look up. We'll do Miami since that's usually the most. Let's see. Let me see. Where do they have kids free? We'll do family with kids. Let's check this one. 446 to the Bahamas. 446. Now I know it's only 4 days. Let's see what's included. Okay. So how the hell? I don't want pictures. I want. Oh Lord. How do you click this? All right, let's see. Let's just do this. Bonus details. Let's see. Won't you play that video? Okay. Okay, that's that. Check for special rates. Now y'all see these, right? A balcony 675. And February is one of the months that people go on cruises. 675. That's cheap. Let's do it like this. Kids sale free. There you go. Kids sale free. 926. Get off my screen. Kids sale free on another one. That's 7 days. Sorry, I didn't show it. 7 days. That's insane. So you could bring your kid with you, you and your old lady, for about, with tax, $2,700, maybe $28, and be on a boat $400 a day, $200 a day per person, and your kid can do whatever the hell they want and it don't cost you a dime. Another one. Look at it. It came up 29 times. Look at this. Western Caribbean. Eastern Caribbean. Disney cruise. I think. Don't hold me to that Disney one. Okay, so basically it looks like just Royal Caribbean. They're letting your kids go on for free. But all right. All right. So somebody said, let's look up the Honda sales. I don't know why I put Hinda.
You know, let me go here. There's a growing concern in
Honda's auto business takes a hit as tariffs of EV write-downs. Huh? Now the page won't work, but okay. Honda profits plus 61%, dialing up fleet sales. Huh? 61%. Huh? Oh, I was told that I'm lying. Okay, there it is right there. We finna show it to you. They say I'm lying. But this economy great. That's what they told me. I'm just hating. I'm just hating. Okay. All right. There you go. There you go. 61%. Profits. We need to conduct a fundamental review of our strategies to rebuild our competitive strength. Huh? Because people can't afford your cars overseas, sir, because of them damn tariffs. Y'all want to sit up there talking about something? Oh, Trump is going to allow these. They're going to build a plant in Indiana for 210,000 Honda. What was it? Their streetcar. A streetcar that most people won't get because most people can't drive a manual, which they won't tell you. That's the other thing. When you go look for these cars now, they want you to get the manual off top so you can have the good fuel efficiency. If you want The automatic, you're going to have to pay another $1,500 off top before you even put the other stuff into it. They don't tell you that, though. Honda reported third quarter losses as profits plunged 61% on mounting charges from EVs and global sales falling 15%, with U.S. sales specifically falling 18%. Honda plans to revise its future EV strategy, increase incentive spending, and dial up fleet sales, the latter of which it's never really focused on before. Yes, because you were getting your ass kicked by Nissan on that. Sprinter vans were hitting different. But you let them tell it. Oh, God. Oh, they don't listen. They don't listen. What is the... How many times did we have to tell them last year? These companies are telling you it doesn't make sense for us to build here. It doesn't make sense. It's going to cost us more. If it's 22 now and we making it overseas, we bring it back home, it's going to cost you 40. Toyota global sales fell by 2.2% in November, marking the first decline in 11 months, largely due to a significant drop in sales in China. Here we go. The decrease was attributed to the end of government subsidies for electric and fuel-efficient vehicles, which affected consumer purchasing behavior. But I tell you about them government subsidies. Remember, these are them folk over there say, "Oh, Elon and them, they don't use government money to fund themselves." Then we showed them that they do use it. They was like, "Oh, well, that was just a little bit." So which is it? Which is it? Toyota EV sales crashed because people don't want them. And they eliminated the EV credit. Toyota can barely cover the demand for its cars. And what happens when the demand is higher than the supply? Come on, Republicans and conservatives, tell us, what happens when demand is high and supply is short? What happens? July shows us everything. Toyota quarter two sales fall short to rival in key metric. Okay, we looked at clothes. Let's look at furniture. We all need furniture, do we not? Beds and all that. Huh. Furniture store sales down 5.6% from December 2024. Let me look. That's probably from 2024. Let me look. Get off my screen. Huh. The U.S. Census Bureau conducts the advanced monthly retail trade and food service survey to provide an early estimate of monthly sales by kind of business for retail and food service firms located in the U.S. The U.S. Department of Commerce released its advanced estimates for December 2025 earlier this week, which concludes its reports for the holiday season. December 2025 retail sales adjusted for seasonal variation and holiday and trading day differences totaled $735 billion. Most notably, according to the report published by the U.S. Census Bureau, those figures, when compared to November 2025, were virtually unchanged from the previous month. However, the report said they were up 2.4% from December 2024. Of the total, furniture and home furnishing stores represented $135.8 billion and were down 5.6% from December 2024 and 0.9% from November. But I thought the economy was doing well. That was what I was told. Let's look up electronics. Y'all love y'all electronics. Let's see how the electronics sector did. Nigga. Best Buy cuts its annual profit and sales outlook as it wrestles with tariffs. This was back in May of last year. Tariffs drives up electronics prices and delay e-commerce recovery. Let's look this past week. Let's see. Many consumer electronics manufacturers will go bankrupt or exit product line, by the end of 2026 due to the AI memory crisis, Phison CEO reportedly says. Memory cards, flash drives, external hard drives. Yeah, they're going to go up. You might as well start buying it now. The price of computers are about to go up because of AI. Because now all these companies want to implement AI systems into the software. So now you're going to have to pay the piper on that. Microsoft got Gemini. Google got Gemini. Microsoft got theirs. I think it's Solana, I think. Don't quote me on that. I'm going to be keeping up with this. Apple got Siri. I mean, come on now. Trump over there ready to sell out Taiwan. Malaysia is #1 right now in producing chips. The rare earths, China controls that market. There you go. DRAM and NAND flash shortage will shut down companies and many consumer electronics. Tesla sales down 55% in the UK, 58% in Spain, 59% in Germany. They sat up there talking about, oh, they're going to end the fact that you can use the, what was it? I forgot what it called. Like the AI, I guess, in the car. You got to start paying for it now. What else y'all want? We keep going all day. Paper. Let's see. Boise Paper announced a price increase of up to 6%. Effective March 2nd. Paper finna go up. Finch, another big one. 5.9. They just started that increase. Copy paper finna go up. Y'all's Trapper Keeper books for your kids about to go up. And what's going to happen in the next 4 months? Back to school shopping. Oh, yeah. Cardboard finna go up. But they told me that the economy was doing great. Where's my woman? Sabrina, come here. I would buy her back to school stuff now. They said paper is about to jump almost 10%. All the companies raising their prices. Isn't it? But I was told that the economy was doing great. And everything I'm showing you is things that you buy on the daily. Let's see what plastics looks like. While prices, let's see what this is. Plastics technology. While prices of polyethylene, polypropylene, polystyrene, and polyvinyl chloride, PVCs, all moved up in January, potential for a bit more by the first quarter's end. The volatility experienced within the last couple of years appears to be subsiding. For now, wait till Trump wants to go start his war. They're going to need plastics. Polymer prices firming on higher costs and improved demand. Luckily. Recycled plastics market under pressure, oversupply and sluggish sales. Sluggish demand. Sorry. I think y'all get the point. Look up soda. Shit. We can look up soda. We can do that. All right. Let's see. Soda. All right. We got it. Are soda sales declining? So this was November. The fall of soft drinks. How Americans are leaving behind soda. So this was in January. Will there be an end to the soda price increase? Not likely. Let's see. Leave me alone. $7 for a 12 pack. We've seen this. And some of the big companies, they tell them to put like 3 or 4 packs. Coca-Cola's demand recovery, higher prices drive surprising revenue. Yeah, because they didn't have the supply. Sparkling sodas such as Fanta and Sprite. Well, yeah, because they don't have the dyes in it like Coke does. Well, Fanta does, but Sprite not so much. And yes, we have to give a little bit of credit to influencers. Anyway, y'all get the point. I was told this economy was great. This is what I was told. And then we got people up here showing you that it's not, and they still want to sit up here and argue. Okay. Well, now here you are. I dare y'all to go live and explain to your people that the economy is regressing. I dare you. But we know you won't do it because that would require you to have integrity. But you are chasing the dollar. And dollars get spent like you tokens. Last before we go. Remember how he say the pharmaceuticals? He made that deal and the pharmaceuticals were going to go down. Let's see how they did last year. Breaking down farmers' quarter 4 sales boom. I wonder why. I wonder why. Maybe it had to do with the fact that they don't know what the market going to look like, so they had to go buy early. This was in March of last year. Pharma companies announced direct-to-consumer sales. They want to cut out the middleman. You get to buy your drugs without going to the doctor. Just understand, I'm here to tell you the truth. I'm not here to lie to you for monetary gain. I don't need to do that. I'd rather tell you the truth and I get paid for it than lie to you. And then when everything blow back, I'm going to have to sit up here and explain why it blew back. and I'm going to look crazy. But again, their favorite social media influencer and idiot commentator ain't going to say that. Like this idiot. And we'll end off on a funny note. Because Torian boy went and sold himself out again. Because he's not bright. And we're going to continue to show that he's not bright. Because it's just the thing to do.
You know, let me go here. There's a growing concern in
Oh, Jeffrey Mead, once again, showing everybody how if you're paying for his course, you need your head examined. Like real talk. He really does not understand. He's right. You were designed in the lab, you test tube baby. It's okay. It's quite all right. New York City wants a $127 billion budget. The entire state of Florida has a $117 billion budget. New York City has 8.8 million people. Florida has 22 million people. Think about that for a second. That is absolutely wild. Will somebody explain to this idiot why New York City needs $5 billion, $10 billion more? Does somebody want to explain this to this man? Okay, I'll explain it to this man. Since he don't understand anything that goes on in the terms of the economy.
Wait, Wilson.
I've got to him. You could put your fingers on your chin all you want, acting like you thinking about something. You just thinking about an Uber Eats order. Jeffrey. Okay, Jeffrey. Let's begin. Now, you're hearing this from a native New Yorker. $127 billion budget. Okay, I guess you forgot them crooked ass New York City police officers they get paid out of that budget. Maybe you forgot that. I know. It's the cops. I know. Yeah, y'all on the right. Y'all a little wishy-washy with them cops. I don't like them cops, but they get paid out of that budget. Mondami already just said he's not going to hire 5,000 cops, so that should help, right? Should bring it down a little bit, right? No, it was actually factored into that number. So 5,000 less cops, which means you're going to have more overtime for them cops, longer shifts. Yeah, that's going to contribute to that budget. Number two, utilities. Yes, New York City, a place of almost 9 million people. Yeah, they need utilities. They need infrastructure to work. Electricity, water, gas, the subway. Yeah, you know, the MTA that always run around say they broke. Yeah, they operate in that budget too. The Port Authority. They got cops there too. They get paid off of that. Yeah, since we have to explain this. Amtrak. Did you know that New York City has to pay part of Amtrak's budget? Did you know that? No, you didn't know that because you didn't look it up. Huh? Should we keep going? You got to pay for the Department of Health. You got to pay for the City Council. You got to pay for the WMNIM. You got to pay for the trash collectors. The sanitation, you got to pay fire. You got to pay the EMTs because they're under the fire department. You got to pay them or nobody going to get saved. You got to pay for the infrastructure. You got to pay for the roads to keep fixed. You got to pay for snow removal. I know y'all were making jokes about the snow removal and all the feces that were all over the place. Yeah, you got to pay for that. All the city workers. Yeah, you got to pay for that. That's in the budget too. You didn't know that? Did you know that New York City's budget also does the ferries? Did you know that? No, you didn't know that because you didn't ask no questions. If you'd have asked those questions, you would know this. You wouldn't put out tweets like that to idiots that don't even live in New York. Yeah, they pay for that. The New York City Ferry, yeah, that's in the budget, sir. Thank you. Even my daughter knows that. She's never been on one. You're worried about a state that has 22 million people. A state that dwarfs the size of New York City. A state that money, a lot of it is generated by Disney. And they're probably going to get more now because all these companies are running down there to Florida. So they're going to get more. In the next couple of years, what you going to complain about that now? Well, look at Florida. They got like 140 billion and they're operating well. Why can't New York do that with less money? You sound dumb. We're going to play it again. The boy is slow. I get it. You're from Oklahoma. Not saying that Oklahoma's slow, but they second to last in education in the country. That's not good. Jeffrey, should we keep going? We're going to keep going. Do you know what else you got to pay for in New York City? Rent-controlled buildings, yes. It's a lot of revenue that New York is not getting because people lock in prices. Yeah. They also pay for construction. Yes. Yes. Why do you think the Jewish contingent loved Mondami getting in? They get to go access some of that money. Yes. Yes. Guess what else they have to pay for, sir? Maybe you didn't know this. When they produce TV out there, yeah, they got to pay for that. Yeah, I know they give those grants to the production companies. Yeah, guess what? They have to hire cops. That goes against their budget. You didn't know that, did you? Especially with the big budgets. I'm talking about like the Netflixes and the MCUs and all that. Yeah, New York City got to pay for that. It's interesting that y'all don't keep, y'all never figure this out. MTA workers got to get paid to keep the system going. Yeah. I'm not caping for my dime. I'm just trying to tell you a story. You can't be a voice for conservatives and you don't even know the basics. You can't be a voice for the liberals and not know the basics. You're doing this for money. And then you got idiots. This fool said there's nothing New York City is better at than Florida. Are you insane, sir? If that was the case, why? Oh, God. Okay, sir. Off top, you can get anything in New York City at any time of the day. Florida, you better be in one of the major cities. Oh, by the way, sir, since you want to play that game, George, it's better at disaster relief than Florida is. I won't put no cap on that. We see what happens when a natural disaster hits Florida. And then we see what happens when a natural disaster, Superstorm Sandy, happens to New York. But okay, you want to play that game. All right. Somebody say, what do you care? You don't live in New York. Leave us alone. New York City generates 2.3 trillion in revenue. Florida produces 1.7 trillion in revenue. Think about that. Okay, we thought about it. It's New York City. Oh, God. You need a high budget so you can give money back to the people. The only way to get that much money from people is to tax them at high rate. Yeah, but they can also leave. It's like a whole bunch of people left Florida after that last hurricane because the insurance. But okay. There's less fraud in the entire state of Florida than New York City. Are you serious? Less fraud in Florida than New York? Boy, you better go somewhere. Okay. Okay. Now you're bringing up small countries comparing budgets. I tell you, they're not bright. They're really not bright. Oh man. Oh, this person got it. There's so much infrastructure, and it's an old infrastructure. Yes, that's why it costs more. New York never modernized. It's okay. Most of Florida is business and tourism. Again, he's comparing an entire state to one city. But again, it's Jeffrey. We understand. He's trying to get picked. We get it. He sees Tatum Tots. He's seen Forehead. He's seen Candice. He didn't seen Basic Classic. He's seen all them influence. Even Little Miss Self-Aid. He's even seen her get on TV multiple times and been featured on other people's large platforms, and he trying to get there, and they don't care. And the best he can do is go on TikTok into debates and then get cooked. Even it's got to suck for you when Jubilee don't even ask you to come on. They asked an Angolan who lived in Maine with a white population of 92% to come on and get cooked by Amanda Seales. They didn't even ask you to get cooked. They asked ABL to fly to LA to get cooked. They thought that would be a hate crime to have you on Jubilee. I said it. I'm going to turn the music off and say it again. They considered it a hate crime. Them Koreans considered it a hate crime to bring you in front of Amanda Seales. Because it would be really like beating down on the youth and on the indigent. But anyway, y'all get the idea. This economy sucks. Black-owned businesses. That's all we're going to say. Black-owned businesses. We might as well be the ones. Black-owned, Black American-owned, and melanated immigrants on code. Their businesses. Let their businesses thrive. Everybody else can go to piss in a pot and throw it on themselves. But anyway, y'all, hopefully you learned something. If you did a dumb job, if not, I'll try to be better next time. Let me get back on this Double Dragon screenplay and finish recovering. It's been good to stream with y'all again on this here. I might even be back later. I ain't sure. Might be back on tomorrow. I ain't sure. But we'll see. I'm going to get back into the saddle. February has not been a good month, but we will make sure to end it off right and then go into March. March forward. Actually, you know what? I might be back later because I got a lot to say about that Haitian woman. I got a lot to say. Maybe I'll just do a video for that. But I do have a video coming for y'all later tonight. I think you'll like it. But anyway, y'all take care, stay safe, and you know what to do when the agents of chaos come to mess up your existence.
Oh, here it goes!
Time's up.
Get your ass up! We gotta get out of here now!
But did we have a good time here? Hello?
Gotta get your groove on.
at the end of the day, the day gotta end.
And that's it.